Alright guys, so here we are with Alex Chambers ahead of a big fight at UFC Sydney against Nadia Kassem. I guess the big question, it's only appropriate to start off with, where have you been for the last couple of years, Alex?
Where have I been? I injured my knee in my last fight and I've been rehabbing it. But lately I've been training hard back in Miami, Florida, where I train at American Top Team. So I've been living the life, doing what I love.
Let's go back a little bit. Talk to us about the knee injury. How exactly did you injure it? Was that in the fight against Paige Van Zandt, or was that a little bit afterwards in training?
Yeah, my knee injury, it happened in the fight with Paige, which made the fight tough against someone of her caliber as well. I've learned a lot from that experience and I've recovered back to normal. I've been training hard. As I said, I train with the top women in this sport in the world at American Top Team, with people like Amanda Nunes, the champ, Nina Ansaroff, so many. We've got a lot of strawweight fighters. The champ, Joanna Jacek.
Former champ now.
Yeah, but we'll see her back. You know, she's a great person and a great fighter, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next fight.
Just wondering, did you always know that you were going to come back, or was there a time during that where you sort of weren't a little bit sure, when you were going through that knee surgery and rehab process?
No, there was never any question. Mixed martial arts is what I love to do. There was never any question. It's something that I wanted to do, do my recovery and get back into training and get back to fighting, get back to stepping into the octagon.
Obviously, a little bit of time since fight week. How's it been so far, being back here in Sydney, getting back into the swing of things with fight week? Is it a little bit different to what you remembered a couple of years back, or is it still the same as usual? How's it all feeling now that it's been a little bit of a break?
Feels like yesterday, I must say. Being back in fight week,
Do you enjoy the whole fight week process,
yeah,
having to talk to guys like us, asking you these kinds of questions?
I love the whole thing, the whole experience of it all, and I'm just looking forward to stepping back into the octagon again.
Did you ask to be part of this Sydney card and sort of fight, in your home country, or was it just sort of luck that it turned out that way?
I think a bit of luck, but also, obviously all Aussies want to fight at home. I was lucky to fight in Adelaide UFC a couple years back, and there's nothing like the experience of fighting at home, and to be fighting in my home city of Sydney, it makes it even more special.
What do you think about the early morning fight situation? Because I remember we spoke to you a while back when you fought in Australia. You said, it felt a little bit funny fighting in the morning here. Are you all ready for that situation, having to get up, get dressed, and then go and fight?
Yeah, Adelaide was a little bit earlier actually than Sydney. So, this time that we're fighting is usually when I'll be training and putting in a hard pro session, back at American Top Team. So it's normal, and I'm sure I'll feel good out there come fight time.
Obviously, Nadia is new to the UFC. What do you think about her as an opponent? Are you happy with the matchup that you got?
Yeah. Sean Shelby is, a phenomenal matchmaker, and I'm just glad that I can be fighting here in my hometown. She's a newcomer to the UFC, and the UFC is a bit of a step up in competition. So, we'll see come fight time how things go.
Have you sort of studied much tape on her? Are you sort of familiar with many of her fights, and do you sort of in the back of your mind have that? Notion that, some fighters, they may get surprised when they sort of go in the deep end, and you mentioned it is a different level of competition in the UFC.
Yeah, I never take any opponent lightly. That's the biggest mistake you can do. Obviously, she's in the UFC for a reason, and with regards to tape, of course you watch a little bit of tape. There's not too much on her out there, but at the end of the day, it's about me going out there and imposing my game and my will in the fight.
And obviously a veteran of the sport, people are excited to see you come back. But what's your plan? Let's say you win this weekend. Are you looking to get back in there and fight as frequently as possible, or are you happy just take 1 or 2 fights a year? What are your goals in the sport at this point in your career?
I love doing this. This is what I love to do. I'm excited to be back. Obviously, I'm not looking past this fight. And it's fighting is what I love to do. So if I can, after this weekend, of course, I'd love to be back in the octagon again soon.
Perth, does Perth have a good ring to
Yeah,
it in
when
February? Do you think if everything goes well, you'd be targeting that card?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see after the fight. But of course, to fight in Australia as an Aussie is a special thing. So, of course, I'd love to fight in Perth.
Can't help but notice you're wearing a Represent jumper, of course made famous by the Diaz brothers. What's going on there?
There's a bit of a attitude maybe change from Alex Chambers. We're going to see some
throwing water bottles at press conferences.
Coffees flying everywhere.
Represented are awesome. I mean, their gear is awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. It's some of the most comfortable stuff I've ever worn, actually.
Do they sponsor you?
I do feel like a badass when I put my Represented gear on.
Have
It's like this feeling of channeling the Nate Diaz.
Has he messaged you at all?
Has he messaged me?
We know he can be short in his messages.
No, but
sometimes.
I've bumped into him, in Vegas and things like that, and had a long chat. So, I'm happy to be represented. And
what was that like? What did you guys chat about? Dean M's with Nate Diaz.
What did we chat about? Gosh, he was just asking me how I've been, and his brother was with him too, Nick Diaz. So,
did they try and invite you to a triathlon or something? Like, did they big on that?
No, they didn't. But he was chatting to me because we had bumped into each other a few times because he was the coach on the opposite team of the Ultimate Fighter. So, just chatted about how things were going, how training is, and I don't know. I was a bit in awe of both of them. I can't believe I'm here chatting to the Diaz brothers, and they're like, no, they're just really nice guys and total badasses in the cage too.
Do you think you'll do any more training with them other than like the training that you did sort of as them being coaches on Tough?
No, I mean they were on the Nate Diaz was the assistant coach on the opposite team.
Yeah, correct.
But of course, I would love to do some training with them if I ever drop by their academy in California. I would love to do some jiu-jitsu and learn from them, and yeah, that would be great actually.
Well, it's going down this weekend. People are excited to see you back, Alex. Excited to see the fight. Best of luck, and it's great to see you back in the game back here in Sydney.
Thank you very much, and I'm excited to be back.